Hi guys, and welcome back to Leslie Through the Looking Glass. For those of you that are new here, hi, my name is Leslie. I'm so happy to have you. For my returning viewers, as always, thank you so much for coming back and supporting my channel. We are back with another Mental Health Monday video today. I don't have a ton of specifics on my agenda with you guys, but basically I just want to talk about how oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm a little sleepy. I did not mean to yawn on camera, though. Just talk a little bit about how big life changes or life events can really be triggering of that anxiety, and that's kind of what I've been experiencing right now. The last few days, I've had a ton of anxiety and just uneasy feelings because we were getting ready for some real big changes in our household this weekend. And I don't know about you guys who struggle with this kind of stuff, but any sort of change is hard for me to process. Even when it's change that is good change or I know should happen, it's still just very nerve-wracking for me and gives me that anxiety of the unknown. So this weekend we were taking out our toddler's crib and putting her in a big girl bed for the first time. Both Amelia and Dad were super excited for it. Mom was really struggling with it for several reasons, but just the change in routine, possibly the unknown of how it was going to go, what was going to be the best way to get into the new routine, all of that stuff really weighed on me. Plus just ending that chapter, that was I feel like the last kind of baby thing we had with her. So to put baby life behind and move full force into little kid life was a lot for me. Especially because we have decided that we were not going to try to have another baby, and we were going to just our family was just complete with what we had. And I'm, it's one of those things where I, came to that decision. I'm comfortable with it. I think that is our best scenario, but just that ending of that and letting go of the last string of baby was very overwhelming for me. And then combined with that, we started getting all of the baby stuff that we had been storing out to work on selling that on Facebook Marketplace or to friends or stuff that needed baby stuff. So there was a lot going on that brought up a lot of emotion. So definitely was very triggering for my anxiety. I think that for the most part, I did okay. I definitely had my moments through the process of the last 2 days. But I've gotten a lot more comfortable with letting the feelings happen. And just letting myself live in those feelings as I need to let them, be what they need to be for me. I, for the most part, like I said, felt like I got through things pretty well, but I definitely had my moment last night once the house was quiet and we weren't, everybody else was in bed, and I had some time to process and decompress, and I had a moment. But I feel like if I didn't have that moment, I didn't grieve what was happening in my heart, then I wouldn't be fully accepting of things, and I would hold on to something that I needed to not. So while it was a very hard few minutes for me, I really felt like it was a big necessary push for going forward. But it definitely, like I said, it definitely triggered some anxiety. I was sick to my stomach going into bedtime on Saturday night. Just worried about how things would go. Those of you that also struggle with anxiety, you know that your brain always goes to worst case scenario. So in my head, I am thinking of, an example for maybe if this is not something you struggle with, or my example to just share, so if you do this, you're not the only one. My husband's like, so what's the big deal? It's a toddler bed. What if she falls out? She'll be fine. And I was like, it's not that I'm worried about her falling out of the toddler bed. It's what if she gets out of bed and walks to her bedroom and accidentally trips over the dog, and the dog wakes up biting her, and then we have a whole nother issue? What if she's trying to crawl into our bed without waking us up and falls and cracks her head? And what if, she comes and wakes me up and I like knock her down or push her away or something because I'm terrified and I scare her? I went to all these like worst case scenarios of what if she tries to go to the bathroom by herself in the middle of the night and falls off and hurts herself? I go to all these like extremes, processing every possibility that I think is something that could happen, so that I can try to prepare for, how I'm going to hear these things and stop them before they happen and all of that. So that's just kind of how my brain works in those scenarios. So obviously going in that night, I was a disaster. But, she actually did fantastic all weekend. We did that and big girl underwear, and both things went really well all weekend until this morning. So, my anxiety is usually unfounded, and I know this, but I just have to get through it, experience it, and, move forward. So it is what it is, but it still can be nerve-wracking at times. And then, like I said, I'm still working through grieving the loss of everything, and that got really brought to the forefront this weekend, where in a lot of ways I have made peace, like with our decision and where we're at and what our plan is, all of those things. Like, I'm really good with all of it, but it is still hard clearing out the baby stuff and like having the finality there and like knowing like that's just it. Like, I mean, if that makes sense. I know it is what it is, regardless of whether that stuff is there or not, but it's like packing it up, getting rid of it. It just makes it like real fresh feeling and real hard. So I know that I'm still struggling with my grief, but I also feel like the fact that I know that and can feel the emotions without being numb hopefully means I'm processing it a little bit better and more effectively, and we'll get I'm always going to be sad about how this worked out for us. Just like I'm sad about previous losses still a little bit, and like think about it and feel those feelings. So I think it's healthy to still be sad. I think it's healthy to still, have those emotions, but I don't feel like I'm drowning in the grief most of the time like I was. So again, all moving forward, all good things, but I just wanted to share those with you because I know that a lot of people, when you're dealing with this, even if you do have a good support system, like you still feel alone in a lot of ways, because people can support you and want to be there for you and help you, but it's really hard to not feel super alone or misunderstood when people they can't understand you. Because if you don't go through it, you can't understand like the full ramifications of how your brain is working, which I wouldn't wish on anybody to know that, because it's a struggle and it's hard, and I don't want other people to experience it. But yet it's a really isolating feeling, because you know that no matter what they're doing to support you, they just don't get it, and that can be really hard. And like talking about like the thoughts that go through my head is just to share with you guys like how my brain shuffles through the worst case scenarios, so that if your brain does this too, like you're not alone. I get it. Don't feel like other people aren't doing the same thing. It is just what it is, and I wish I had the secret to stopping it altogether, but it's just not a thing yet. But I hope maybe this helps somebody feel less isolated. I hope this helps you guys know that if major life events are happening to you and it's making you feel more anxious, you're not alone. It's really a struggle, because it just kind of overwhelms you, and I think that's the default of your brain to try to protect yourself. And I know that, and we've talked about that in therapy. So I just try to accept it for what it is and just keep focusing on the tasks at hand, and it seems to get me through. So yeah, I hope that you guys are all having a great week. Our Monday morning started off real rough. Toddler life is a big challenge this morning. Lots of tantrums, a lot of not understanding our feelings, a lot of frustrations. So I'm hoping I can get a run in this afternoon when my husband gets home, because I really need it. I need to run out some of this energy and frustrations. I hope you guys are doing whatever you need to do to keep yourself in a good mental space. Let me know down below, how was your weekend? If you had an anxiety flare up, let me know what's going on, and what you're doing to work through it. I love any tips or tricks I can learn from you guys too. If you haven't already, I would really, really appreciate you hitting the subscribe button down below. We're inching closer and closer to 250, so that's awesome. And if you made it to the end of this video, I hope you give me a big thumbs up and leave a comment down below. What is your favorite way to like run off your stress or anxiety? Well, I say run off, but get your stress and anxiety out. Do you like to run? Do you do yoga? Like, what's your stress relief that helps you expel the negative in your life? Because I'm looking for some more things to add to my routine for when I can't run. We've had a lot of crappy weather lately, and I haven't gotten to be running as much as I'd like and was doing. So any other tips on what you guys do, I would love to hear. So put those in the comments down below too. Coming up this weekend, we have a Mickey Loot Sorcerer Mickey unboxing. I can't wait to get into that. And then I'll be back Monday with another Mental Health Monday video. Alright guys, I hope you all have a great week. Let's carry positive energy into our week, and hopefully we have a better day tomorrow. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!